why are you doing 8 to 17 reps? This is just absolute shit. To this, I would just say, like, there is no 100% like defined 10 out of 10 workout structure.
He looks good, he's progressing in weight and everything, so yeah.
Barseagle is by far one of the most famous calisthenics influencers out there. His skill in calisthenics is almost unrivaled to any other influencer. So because of this, a lot of people might question, what is his training style? How did he achieve his physique, first of all, which is exceptional, and also, how did he achieve all the skills and all the weight on his weighted pull-ups and dips so easily?
So in this video, we're going to react to his 2-step method to build strength and muscle, and just discuss what we think about it, whether we think it would actually work for the average person, and how good we think his advice is, both for building the physique and also building the strength in calisthenics.
Weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, and train skills in calisthenics at the same time and progressing both at the same time. And why they're impressed? Because this has been almost impossible throughout the years. It's too complicated to structure your workouts because you need to have specific methods in place and specific 10 out of 10 workout structure in order to do this.
So in the first part of his video, Barseagle says that it's almost impossible and it's unseen for someone to work on calisthenics skills, which is, for example, handstand push-ups, front levers, or your planches, stuff like that, and also get good at your weighted pull-ups and your weighted dips at the same time. And to this, I would just say that almost every calisthenics person is doing this who's actually like very serious about calisthenics and stuff. If you're working on a front lever, although your back muscles are targeted, it's not going to harm your pull-up training that much. It is very possible to train front levers almost every day, especially if you're a teenager, because you're naturally like going to recover quicker anyway. But it is perfectly reasonable to train skills and do weighted dips and weighted pull-ups, or even a full bodybuilding workout at the same time.
Okay, so I have a kind of different stance on this, which is kind of different from what Arthur's saying. I can see where Arthur's coming from, where, of course, you can get good at 2 things at once. You could be good at weightlifting whilst getting good at calisthenics. But what he's talking about here is getting really strong and really good at the skill of weighted calisthenics and calisthenics moves at the same time. Now, if you look at athletes who are in sports and stuff, it is hard to balance weightlifting and heavy resistance training whilst trying to get better at a skill at the same time. This is because a lot of the skills and a lot of the training is going to contradict each other and make it harder to progress in both of them at the same time. There's the quote, "The man who chases 2 rabbits will catch neither." And I think this can be applied to training, whether it's boxing training with weightlifting and also calisthenics training with weightlifting. So when he says that you need a 10 out of 10 workout split, I would definitely agree with him. It has to be a very intelligent workout split if you want to balance them and have them not make each other worse at the same time. If you have a workout split with too many different things to focus on, you end up just being very mediocre at all those different things instead of being very good at all those different things. So if you want to get to a really high level in calisthenics, you're going to have to focus on calisthenics. And if you want to get into a high level at weighted calisthenics and calisthenics skills, you're going to have to do a very well-structured workout split to achieve this.
So to this, I would just say, like, there is no 100% like defined 10 out of 10 workout structure. There is no such thing as the perfect workout. So I do think that you should take your workout seriously, and having a program can be useful. But at the end of the day, the reason why most people train calisthenics is just for fun, right? It's just because like it's not really their job. They normally have some sort of job unless they're unemployed, like us. But anyway, it should always be for fun. And if you're taking it way too seriously, then I just don't think it should be that serious. And obviously train hard, like lift as much weight as you can and just have fun in the process, you know? Don't try and train like 100% optimally.
I agree with what you're saying about how people just want to do it for fun. And if you don't want to take training so seriously, of course you don't need the 10 out of 10 workout split. If you want to be at the highest level of calisthenics, it's going to be like any sport where everyone is trying to be the best, and having a bad workout split is going to hinder you. So you've got to make sure that your workout split is as good as it possibly can be to achieve your goals. And what he's trying to do with progressing on 2 things at once, you're going to need to have a really well-structured workout split. Now, of course, if you don't want to be at the highest level of physique, if you don't want to be at the highest level of calisthenics training, your workout split can be more, oh, I'm just going to go in the gym and do this. Or it doesn't have to be like perfectly structured to achieve your goals. However, if you want to be at the highest level, and if you want to do two things at once, you do need to have a very good workout split. And of course, no workout split is going to be perfect, but there are workout splits that are going to suit your goals better than others. And I think that's kind of what he's trying to say here.
To this, I would just say that within training, right, there's multiple things you can work on, especially in calisthenics. So first of all, there's strength, then there's building muscle, and then there's working on skills. So if you do a workout, right, you're prioritizing these three things a different amount. So you could do a workout, an only good workout for strength, right? So only doing 1 to 3 repetitions on your sets, but then you're not going to be building as much muscle. But if you're doing sets over 8 to 12 reps or something like that, or maybe even 5 to 7, then you're working on building muscle, but you're not necessarily improving your 1 rep max on those weighted pull-ups and weighted dips. And if you work on skills, then you're not building muscle. So you can't really have it all in a workout. So there is no such thing as the perfect workout, in my opinion. You just have to try and do as much as you can towards those 3 pillars of calisthenics.
Yeah, so just to wrap up, I will concede that that is a good point. What he's talking about here, weighted calisthenics with calisthenic skills, those two do complement each other very well, and I think most calisthenics athletes are doing both, because obviously you won't be able to do some calisthenic skills if you're not very strong, and weighted calisthenics goes well with the skills, right? So when you're trying to balance something like boxing and weightlifting, it's going to be a lot more difficult than balancing these two things. So I will admit that these two complement each other within a workout structure, whereas doing some other sports and activities like running and weightlifting, you're going to have to be really smart because they don't complement each other, and often they make it harder to get good at both things.
Is you never use this method when you're doing less than 8 reps in a working set, because then the method becomes more ineffective. So minimum you ever do in a working set is 8 reps, maximum 17. Yeah, so you can play, you can choose a rep range.
So the rep range that Ian Barseagle uses on his 2-set method is 8 to 17 reps. This is absolute bullshit. Shall I leave that in or
It's up to you.
Okay, I've laughed in a while, bro. What?
You said I haven't laughed in a while. That's so sad.
No, I laughed yesterday, bro.
It's been a while, man.
Okay, anyway. This rep range really irritates me, because why are you doing 8 to 17 reps, especially on pull-ups? 8 to 17 reps is optimal for literally nothing. So on weighted pull-ups, every time I do a set over 10 reps, normally either my grip will give out or a smaller muscle that isn't my back or my lats will just give out, and there's no point because you're not reaching your maximum strength potential. I would recommend doing a lower rep range, maybe something like 5 to maximum 9 reps, because then you're going to be not only lifting more weight, and who doesn't want to lift more weight, right? It's just more fun. But also you're just going to be able to put more energy into each rep, which not only leads to more muscle growth, and you're also going to be able to maximize your strength for that set.
Sounds to me like you've got very weak forearms. I mean, I don't know, me personally, right? I don't think there's any other limiting factors except for your lats after you go above 8 reps. That's my viewpoint on that. However, I do agree with you that some rep ranges are better for strength than others. However, I don't think there is an optimal rep range. I think when it comes to lifting, you don't need to be in a set rep range. You don't have to go, oh, I only do 5 reps. You don't have to go, I only do 8 to this reps, right? I think mixing it up is what gives your body the most different stimuluses. So you can do some sets with higher reps, some sets with lower reps, and get the best of both worlds. I personally like reverse pyramid training, but I think it doesn't really matter. I think it's not about the reps. I think it's about getting stronger. And if you can get stronger with 8 to 17 reps, then you should do that. And it's obviously working for him. He looks good. He's progressing in weight and everything. So I don't know, man. I think it works differently for different people.
So the way that I get around actually growing my muscle and using different rep ranges for different stimuluses is that quite often on my last set, so say I do 4 sets of the weighted pull-up, which is more than Ian Barseagle actually recommends, but I'm not going completely to failure because I want that optimal strength gains. So on my last set of the weighted pull-up, what I'll sometimes do, quite often actually, is I'll just do a drop set. So I'll take one of the plates off. I'm trying to flex my strength here because I'm lifting multiple plates.
I'll take one of the plates off.
Take one of the plates off, and then I'll do another, after my set of like 7 reps, I'll take one of the plates off and do another 5 reps or 7 reps or whatever. And then I'll take another plate off, and then I'll just do body weight, and then just burn out completely. And I do feel this in my lats more, and yeah.
2 sets and 2 exercises. Why only 2 exercises? Well, because if you take the 2 right exercises, you're targeting all of the muscles you need in the major muscle groups.
Okay, so he only does 2 sets per exercise. So my personal opinion on this is that I do agree with that. I think that I only do about 6 sets per muscle group per week. And I think that works really well for me personally. I think when you go too many sets, you're just doing volume for the sake of it for no reason. And when you keep the volume very low, you get the best strength gains. But also I think you get the most out of when you're in the gym. And the gym just doesn't become very boring because you're not in there for too long. You're not in there doing 14 sets per muscle. You're in there doing 4 sets per muscle, and the workout is intense. The workout's exciting. The workout's unique. And yeah, you're just getting stronger every time. You're just only in the gym a little bit, so when you're in the gym, it's more fun. So for me, I do kind of agree with what he's saying. Do 2 sets per exercise, do a couple exercises, 2 or 3, maybe a bit of isolation, but I don't think you need it. And yeah, I think that's the best way to train. I think doing too many sets is detrimental, and doing a couple sets is usually quite good. Maybe there's a sweet spot in between to maximize it, but I think it's always better to keep the volume low than to go too high.
But the only slight problem that I have is with his split. He's only training each muscle once every 5 days, and I don't think this is very optimal because frequency is actually way more important than volume. And whilst he's not doing too many sets, if he trains each muscle more often, then he would see more results, in my opinion.
I personally get very good results training each muscle once per week, but I mean, I think everyone has different kind of physiques and different goals, so I don't know what will work better, but I think he's just giving the advice that he has. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, can you please like and subscribe? It would help us out a ton.